Jeff Hallums, good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
And it is Hallums with an S.
With an S. There's some in Lebanon called Hallam with no S, but we got an S on ours.
You have a book that is, I guess it's pretty much hot off the press. I'm trying to look here and see if you got a copyright. 2026. You wrote the book. Got it printed this year.
Yes.
It's called "Meeting God Where You Are," and we're going to be talking about that this morning. Jeff Hallums. It's not a lengthy book. 90 pages, and you gave me a copy the other day, and you're here to talk about that and how it's has to do with what you do. With FAM Essentials, and you've been out here a number of times. We've talked about different things you've done as with FAM Essentials and what that's all about. And we've really got a lot to talk about this morning. Some explaining, I guess. But good morning.
Good morning.
It is nice to have you, and we're going to be joining somebody in Abilene, Texas, when I can get them dialed up here in a moment. But if you will. Tell us just a little bit about your book here.
Well, it's the title of it, like you said, is "Meeting God Where You Are: Embracing God's Love Outside Church Walls." The idea for this book came about after many years of I know where we go to church. I've helped run a benevolence committee there for about 7 years. We've been doing FAM Essentials now for about almost 5 years. And one thing I've learned, we're beating our head against the wall, inviting these folks to come to church with us. I think we have, my experience has shown us that it's just not going to happen. So I asked my wife, I said, you know what? I said, I wonder, does this mean that these folks can't know who God is just because they don't come to my church building with me? And so that was where the idea of the book came about, is to write a book called Meeting God Where You Are. And it's the gist of the book is that God's Spirit will guide you to where His plan is for your life, and that may or may not be in a church building setting. And because a lot of these folks have been church hurt for various reasons, or have never been introduced to anything like this. So that was the purpose of the book. We give copies of this to our recipients whenever we deliver to them. We give them a Bible and copy of this book along with several other things when we deliver furniture to them. And we're also selling these they're on Amazon. You can get an e-copy or a paper copy. They're $10, and all the proceeds go to FAM Essentials. If you would want to get a copy from me, Kevin Bass over at Creative Graphics has been kind enough to print me out copies that I can sell myself, and all the proceeds go to FAM.
And how long FAM Essentials been going? When did you start?
Almost 5 years.
You still making furniture?
Yeah, we're still distributing furniture. We don't make it. Well, we do have a couple of woodworking groups that have made end tables and stuff, but we distribute those furniture items out the second and fourth Saturdays of every month. We did 3 houses this past Saturday, and a couple weeks ago we did 5 houses.
I mentioned a phone call. Now, the only thing is we got about 3 minutes before it's time to take a break. Do we need to do the phone call now or wait till after the break?
We can probably wait after the break. Maybe during the break we can give him a call and get him on the line.
I think that would be a great idea. Okay. So how long since this book has been available?
Probably about 3 months. It's about 3 months since
we got our first. What's been the initial reaction?
It's been really good. I've had a couple of Bible study groups that have purchased multiple copies to discuss in their group. The gist of the book is, like I said, you're meeting God where you are, and wherever He leads you may or may not be in a church building setting. So I think that's to a lot of folks it tears down a wall, a barrier, because it seems like that. Maybe the division that exists between all the believers. There are a lot of people that believe in God, but we have these things that divide us all. And something that happened to us, Coleman, if we got time here, I'm going to share this.
Yeah.
It's at the end of the book, so I'm going to spoiler alert here. A couple years ago, my wife and I were in New Brunswick, Canada, and we were boondocking in our RV. Boondocking, we were parked in a Walmart parking lot for the night. Next morning, I looked out the front window, and there was a homeless guy in front of our RV. So it was about 40 degrees outside, and he was sitting there drinking a cup of coffee, man about my age. So I go out there, and I said, he introduced himself. His name was Tom. we talked for a while. He gave me his story, and he wasn't. I think he had an issue with drugs or alcohol. He had a sick daughter that wound up costing him everything, and he wound up on the streets. But he talked very intelligently. I mean, this guy articulated his words. He was seemed to be very smart. And I asked him, I said, Tom, tell me about that cross on your necklace. What's that about? And he said, well, Jeff, it's real simple. He said, just give your heart to God and do the best you can, and don't get too caught up in the details. And when he said that, it was like a liberating thought to me. I thought, could it be that simple? Because I think the details is what has divided all the different believers. We get too caught up in splitting hairs over details. And so I think that, the Bible says sometimes you entertain angels unaware. I feel that Tom was an angel because his message was pretty powerful. And that's my new philosophy on life. Do the best you can and don't get too caught up in the details. And I think for the most part, Susie and I were talking about this earlier in the lobby, I think for the most part, most folks are doing the best they can with what they have and what they know and where they are in life. I think most people are. So, that doing the best you can is going to be different for everybody because we're all struggling with something.
Okay, we're going to go to a break in just a second. Meeting God Where You Are by Jeff Hallums. How can you get it?
Amazon, go to Amazon, just put my name in and it'll come up. Just put Jeff Hallums in, or Meeting God Where You Are. And like I said, the book's e-copy or paper copy are $10 a copy, and all the proceeds go to Fam Essentials. Or you can catch me and I'll get you a copy out of my pickup.
All right. Well, we're going to get on the phone with a friend of yours while we go to a break, and we will go to the break right here. This is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9. And we continue here on a Monday morning. Jeff Hallums is my guest. Jeff has a book called Meeting God Where You Are. And believe it or not, as a friend in Abilene, Texas, we're trying to reach, and somehow our phone here in the studio won't do it. You got him on cell phone, right?
I've got him here. Carlin, you there?
I'm here.
All right.
I think he's coming in okay.
All right. Carlin, we just wanted to call you, and I know you have read the book and put a very nice review on Amazon. So Coleman just wanted to reach out to you this morning and get your thoughts about the book.
Got you. The book is excellent. Jeff is a wonderful friend of mine for all these years, and he and I are on the same wavelength about a lot of stuff having to do with God and His church and all the folks. So I concur with what he's written in that book, and I see it as a tool. I hand it out to my friends and hand it out to people that I want to try to influence for Jesus. So I appreciate it very much.
Well, I don't know if you can hear me. Hopefully you can. We're doing this a little bit awkwardly this morning. I don't think we've ever had a cell phone up next to the mic to get our production done. But how well do you know Jeff?
Well, I've known Jeff ever since we've been going together to Maple Hill for years and years. I don't know, Jeff, any idea how many years it's been?
Oh, how long have you guys been at Maple Hill?
We were at Maple Hill for 39 years.
Yeah, so I've been there over 30 myself.
Started in 1977. Yep. Yeah,
so it's been over 30 years. Yes.
Yep.
Well, I've been impressed with Jeff and Fam Essentials and how dedicated he is to helping people who need a hand up, and I've got an idea you feel the same way.
I absolutely do, Jeff. Through the years, everything from beginning our feeding of people on Thanksgiving Day. We've been doing that at Maple Hill for many, many years now. Jeff was head of the benevolence committee when that started, and it's continued on all these years. Started out about 500 people for Thanksgiving and ended up, we got as high as 2,500, and the elders decided, this may be too much. We ran out of food that year. So we backed it off to about 1,500, and it's a wonderful, wonderful event. People gather at the building on Thanksgiving morning and put the meals together, deliver them out to people, and it's great. That was kind of the beginning of it, as far as my relationship with Jeff and seeing the things he did. But he's been involved in so many trips to Honduras and Africa and Haiti and mission trips, medical mission trips, going with Greg Armstrong, putting in water systems, all sorts of stuff like that. And not too long ago, he came to our place in Abilene, just going through for a visit, and saw the ministry that I'm involved in here, Houses for Healing, and gave us a check. That's Jeff. That's Jeff and Terry. That's the way they do.
Well, this is taking a turn I didn't plan on it to take here. It's not the Jeff Hallums show. Thank you for your kind words, Carlin, but we have been blessed to have folks like you around us to help do those mission trips that we have done over the years, and now with Fam Essentials and all the village of people that it's taken to pull that together. And of course, that's the purpose of our visit today, is we're trying to promote this book to sell copies of it so we can help us pay our rent and buy some mattresses and cleaning supplies. And so, but Carlin, thank you so much for your kind words.
You bet. Your book has such a value because you can put it in the hands of somebody and they can see the story of the gospel and go from there.
All right.
Well, Carlin, thanks for being with us today. We appreciate that.
Thanks, Carlin.
Glad to do it.
And we will continue here. That if you missed it, Carlin Brooks in Abilene, Texas, used to live here and still a real good friend of yours, no doubt.
Yes. And I know we said we're raising money for FAM through this book, but if folks want to help us out, you can go to famessentials.org, and there's some opportunity there to give through Venmo, PayPal, or mail us a check, or I'll come pick one up from you. But those are the different ways that you can help us, or you can volunteer. Every Wednesday from 9 to 12, we receive furniture, and then second and fourth Saturdays, we deliver those out.
Well, your book, I said 90 pages. Actually, there's nothing on page 90 except the 90 up there.
That's right. So it's 89.
It's really 89 pages, but it's a good read. You gave me one the other day, and I have managed to thumb through it, and it is called Meeting God Where You Are, Embracing God's Love Outside Church Walls, Jeff Hallum. And again, $10 for the paperback edition. And what's the easiest way to get one?
Amazon is probably the easiest for most folks because they'll ship it right to you. Or if you get an ebook, it's delivered instantly through email. Or they're welcome to give me a call, and I'll meet them somewhere, 615-478-7853. I keep copies with me all the time.
Well, it's a good way to get a book, and as well as to help your cause here, and you could use a little help right now. You've put a lot of your time and energy into. I mean, evidently, you don't have to work real estate all the time.
Well, I'm still an active agent. Still, we have to keep the wheels rolling, So real estate has provided that for us. So that's been a great blessing, having a real estate career.
But no doubt, in mission trips that you have taken. Usually mission trips, what I've heard about, I've never been on one, but I understand them. You want to help people spiritually, but physically and other ways. There's a lot of people in this world who don't have a lot of the world's goods, who are in need of physical as well as spiritual blessings, let's say. Yeah. And you're able to share some of your blessings with them to help them have a better life.
Well, what's an interesting thing, Coleman, we've the trips we've gone on, we've done construction and medical, mostly medical trips, and we go over there to try to help them. But the interesting thing is we get more out of that trip than they do from us. We learn more from them about what's important in life because.
How many years you've been doing this?
My wife and I have been doing the medical brigades for about 20 years. and we go on one. Sometimes we've done a couple in a year, but most time one a year to
a medical brigade.
Medical brigade, yeah. She was my wife Terry. She's a nurse and an RN, and so we pursued the medical about 20 years ago, and then in maybe 15 years ago, we formed our own nonprofit to go do these brigades in these different countries, and we've got a team of doctors, nurses, dentists, pharmacists, and then lay people to go and to do these brigades. And
how long does that usually last? I'm sure it's not exactly the same number of days.
It's usually about an 8-day trip. We'll usually leave on a Saturday and get back on a Saturday. And so it is. It's been a blessing to go on these trips. In fact, that's how FAM came about. FAM Essentials was we had been doing all these brigades, and when COVID hit, we couldn't get overseas. We had a trip planned for March that year when COVID hit, and we had to cancel. And so that's when the opportunities for FAM Essential came about, because we didn't think we would ever get back overseas. So we kind of had our twigs bent in this direction and started FAM Essentials.
Where have you been? And do you know how many trips you've made?
Oh, I'd have to look at some of my old passports, but we've probably been on maybe 25 trips, 20, 25 trips.
Well, not to the same place.
No, we've gone to Honduras, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Kenya. I think that covers most of them. Most of those trips have been to Honduras. We've only been to Kenya twice.
That's mostly Central America then.
Yeah, mostly Central America.
But didn't one place you say there was in Africa?
We were in Kenya, in Africa. We've been there twice.
Yeah.
To Kenya with Phil Johnsey from Church Missions Network. And Phil just retired. But that was also an eye-opening trip for us. I mean, and to be honest with you, I hope I can say this on the radio. My wife and I have been Church of Christ our whole life. This was the first non-Church of Christ trip we had gone on, and it was eye-opening for us that we were all in this for the same reason. And we was just fighting each other over silly things. And so it really helped us learn to just join hands to be the hands and feet of Jesus here on the earth, and not worry about all these divisional things that divide us.
What are some of the physical things you've helped these people with?
Well, the medical brigades have mostly been just very topical. We'll set up a brigade and check blood pressures and blood sugars and, teeth, pull a lot of teeth. Dr. Johnny Dedman's been our dentist for years, and you probably know Dr. Johnny, and he is he's retired now, but we did a lot of pulling teeth. We did one trip with Dr. George Robertson. Dr. George went with us on several of our trips, and then he had one in Catacamas, Honduras. He asked Terry and I to go on, was a surgery trip, and we did 38 surgeries that week.
Wow.
And that was an interesting trip. When you go anywhere with Dr. George, it's a memorable event. We sure miss him.
But in the meantime, most of the furniture that you're doing and other things you're doing local is a little bit different from going out of the country, right?
Yes, it is quite a bit different. We usually work on when we're going overseas, we'll work on the trip all year long, and we're gone for 1 week. With Family Essentials, we work on it all year long, and we're there every Wednesday and every second and fourth Saturday, so it's a little bit more commitment than going overseas.
But I don't think you're in a position to do all of this by yourself. You need contributions. You need monetary help from those who are capable, so blessed.
Exactly. Yes, we sure do. And it takes a village to pull it all together. And like I said, our expenses, nobody gets paid in our organization. It's a 100% volunteer organization. So every dollar that's donated goes to paying our rent, our utilities, or to purchase mattresses and bedding and cleaning supplies. And everything else is donated by the community.
But here again, one way you can do this for as little as $10 is to buy a book, Meeting God Where You Are, by Jeff Hallums, available through Amazon, or call Jeff, and he'll get one. Only $10 for the paperback edition. Yep. But all the money from this is going for your effort.
That is correct. I want to do a quick shout out, if I had just a second.
We got about a minute.
Okay, Rooms to Go. They brought us a 53-foot tractor trailer load of new furniture a couple weeks ago, which was fantastic. We had never had anything like that happen. So they brought us couches, love seats, dressers, chest of drawers. They brought a
They got a distribution center down here.
They do, their manager came over, and some of their team came over to help us reorganize the warehouse to hold all of it. And then we had the Cumberland football team. 120 of those guys showed up to help unload it.
Wow.
And also want to do a shout out to Sam's Club because they donated 32 kitchen tables, small tables, and 60-something chairs as well that same week. So we want to give a shout-out to those and remember them when you're shopping.
Jeff Hallums, you've been a great guest this morning. Appreciate the good work you're doing, and hopefully we can help you do a little more here.
Thank you, Coleman, for having me out.
That's it for a Monday. Join us tomorrow. Until then, I wish you a magnificent day.